welcome back to LWG. We have a special battle report for you today. We don't do this too often because we are not humongous fans of the competitive environment. That's not because the gameplay's bad. It's because there's those people out there and you know who you are. And I think if you don't know who you are, that means it's you. So that keeps us away from certain types of gameplay. But anyway, we do like to do our foray into the tournament scene from time to time. So that being said, we do have to test our mettle in the game of Age of Sigmar and try to bring the efficiency and the tactics and the strategy to our gameplay. So that's what we're attempting to do here, and I think we're going to have to do a little bit of a disclaimer. The way that we approach competitive gaming may be different than some of you are used to. We're not sitting here saying that we're experts. We're by far not professional war gamers, and we're not sitting here telling you this is how you play, this is the best way, or this unit's good, or this unit's crap. No. We're basically saying we have no idea what we're doing, but we're going to give it a shot. So this is our version of being competitive and trying to do the best that we can with our armies to improve our gameplay. So before you decide to comment about how we constructed the army completely wrong, make sure you realize that there has been a disclaimer on this, and we're not necessarily trying to beat the meta or create the meta. We're trying to play the way that we want to play, as efficiently as we know how. So there's that. So the mission for today is going to be the relocation orb, which, as you can see, we have our mimic chest provided by Nate there in the middle. And this is the mission where we already have the board divided up, and we put out our faction terrain, and it is 3 inches away from other terrain pieces now. I can be taught. But no, thank you for in the comments people correcting us, because I do learn things, so it's good. But we do have the board divided. You can see that the deployment zones are here. And the way it works is it's halfway up on the one side, all the way to the corner over here is one side, and the same on the other side of the board. We have the terrain set up, and we have all the mysterious terrain markers out. We're not going to bore you by going through those. If they come up during the game, we will let you know what's happening with them there. Khorne is going to be deploying on this side of the board, as you can see with the skull altar, and the flesh eater courts are going to be over here, as you can see with their pile of bones. Is an uneaten things.
It's a regal throne.
Regal throne. All right, we'll go with that. The way the relocation orb works is every turn, at the top of the turn, the chest is going to move. It's going to run around the board, and when it does so, whoever's controlling it loses control of it, and it assumes a new position. Then what we're doing is we're fighting over control of that. If you are the player that went first in the round and you control the chest with the most models within 6 inches of it, and that would be artifact holders and wizards would count as 20 in this particular mission, you would get 1 point. If you are the player that's going second in the battle round, you would get 3 points. And there's your mission. It is a fun mission because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where it's going to go. And also, that bonus to the second player really makes it interesting. You might not want to just run in and murder everything, which makes me sad. Honestly, it does make me sad. I do like running in and murdering everything. So we'll see. We're gonna play this one out. I haven't had a lot of experience with it in the new handbook yet. So there you go. So that's the lay of the land, and we're moving into army breakdowns. All right, and here we are with Nate's Flesh Eater course. So he's going to run you through this competitive list.
All right. Well, my general is the Abhorrent Archregent, sitting up there on his throne. He is going to have the Aether Quartz Brooch. And then, of course, my army's Blister Skin, so he has the Hellish Order ability, which gives you an extra command point on a 4. The spell he's going to have is Spectral Host, which essentially, if I cast high enough, I pick 3 units, but essentially, you pick a unit and give it fly, and then it... or if it already flies, it can run in charge, which is very useful on the Flayers or the Terrorgeist. My other characters, of course, is the Ghoul King on Terrorgeist. So he's got the obligatory Eye of Hish item. He's going to have the spell Bone Storm to try and deal out some mortal wounds to large groups, because I'll see if it happens. I almost never cast it because you usually just give him an extra 5-up death save. And of course, Gruesome Bite as the mount trait. And the Vargulf over there is also in my army here. He is needed for the Royal Mordant's War Scroll Battalion. Essentially, that is him, 40 ghouls, the 3 crypt horrors, and the 6 crypt flayers. So basically what that means is in my hero phase, I get to pick one of those units, and it can make a normal move in the hero phase, and then can move again. Which is
brutal.
Pretty nice. Then otherwise, my army has the 10 ghouls, which is just kind of a obligatory battle line choice. The fence, the cadaverous barricade is hiding back there. And then, of course,
and that's interesting because I've never seen that before. So what does that do?
So you cast it. It is set up wholly within 24 inches of the caster, and then anything that starts its move within 3 inches is half move speed.
Wow. Okay.
And I think it also gives you cover if it's closer to you than, So, but you don't.
I don't have any really shooting, really.
Yeah, so it's not really going to come into effect. And then, of course, the Chalice of Usharan is over there next to the throne. So that is, of course, the lovely little item that sits on the board, collects tokens, and then at the end of the turn, at the end of the battle shock phase, you roll a die for every token, and on a 4-up, you bring back a ghoul, or you heal a wound to a character.
All right.
So that's what we're looking at.
And you have a lot of summons too, right?
The Terrorgeist Ghoul King is going to be able to summon in either 3 flayers or 3 horrors. And then the Abhorrent Archregent, of course, can summon 20 ghouls, or he can summon a hero, or he can summon flayers, or he can basically summon anything in the army that isn't a that isn't a Terrorgeist or a zombie dragon, essentially.
Okay, cool. So what were your impressions of changes to your list from the newest handbook?
It hurt. This list in the prior to the update, it had a unit of 6 horrors and a unit of 6 flayers, and it didn't have the fence. So basically I had to drop the horrors out because of the increase in points to the Archregent and the Terrorgeist. The 10-point decrease on the horrors wasn't enough to save it. And yeah, this was the best way I could think of to finagle it, but there might be better options out there, I'm sure. And I'm sure you're all screaming Gristlegore at me right now, but...
no, hey, listen, hey. I don't think that's as dirty a word anymore, right?
Yeah, since the FAQs, that's become a little bit less the flavor of the day, so...
Yeah. I think you deserve a commendation for being one of the few Flesh Eater Courts players that still plays it. Yeah. Because most people in competitive environments are like, my list went down 10 points. Sell the whole army. Yeah. So there's a lot of Flesh Eater Courts for sale that I've noticed. So I commend you for being
for
sticking with it. So.
Yeah. Well, Lord Imperio has been my my general for a long time, so he's going to continue to be that way. We've been doing. He's starred in several of our narrative campaigns, so I got to stick with him.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for the breakdown, and we'll see how they do today. And we're going to move over to the Khorne. All right, and here we are. This is my version of competitive Khorne. I'm not sure how competitive it is, but I've been doing pretty well with it. I've only lost 1 tournament game so far with it. So I'll try to do the breakdown the best I can, and if I forget anything, I'll just put a little overlay there in the video, and hopefully we remember it during the battle. So first of all, for the general today, we've got the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, and the reason I went with him is because his command ability allows him to pick, I forget the range, but I'll look it up, but it's him and all demons in a certain range of him they can activate if they're 6 inches away from enemies instead of 3, and they can pile in an additional 3 inches for just 1 measly point, which is amazing. And that's kind of one of the big cruxes in this army. So I got to keep him safe, and I got to get him in range, because that allows all my demons to basically run in charge and still pile in and attack, and it's brutal stuff. So there's that. And he's also running the Crimson Crown artifact, which allows him to, once per round, so that would be if I use it in my turn, then I can't use it in Nate's turn, I get to use a command ability without spending a command point, which would be the pile in and attack thing. It's just great. I'm actually going to be running the Reapers of Vengeance Slaughter Host, and that is going to allow him to have the command trait where he can unbind a spell, and if I roll an 8 to unbind it, the wizard that I unbound the spell from would suffer d6 mortal wounds. So great artifact to have for free. Gives me another unbind attempt. So there's that. And then other heroes we have. Everybody's favorite. Kind of the reason I am taking this list is because Scarbrand's in it. I wanted everybody to see him. I recently got him done being painted up, and I've been running a lot of mortals, so I wanted to get some demons out on the channel. And this guy hits like a truck. He is the angriest of all demons, and he has been known to put out 40-some mortal wounds in one swing. Nate knows that well. That was what happened last time. So hopefully he does well today, and not to say that he is overpowered or anything. He does not have the fly keyword. He is rather slow in comparison to other models, but he is a powerhouse. He does hit very hard, especially if you buff him properly. And then for other heroes, we've got the newly reduced in price Blood Secretor, which I'm loving. Love him because he buffs demons with his portal, giving everybody extra attacks, including Scarbrand's his weapons get extra attacks, which it's good. It's real good. So I got him, and he's running the artifact from the Reapers of Vengeance, which is going to be the I forget what it is, some talisman or something, but it allows him, if he is affected by a spell on a 2+, to ignore the damage from that spell. So it's pretty cool, but it's just him, not anybody else. Over here we got the Skull Altar, and we're running 2 Slaughter Priests. The one on the left, the bald one, is running the +1 to hit prayer, and the one on the right is running Bronzed Flesh, the +1 to save prayer. And behind them, we're taking the Hexscourger Skulls and the Wrath Axe in this list. And then we also have a unit of Wrathmongers, and then we're going to have 2 units of 10 Blood Reavers that have the Meat Ripper axes, so they have -1 rend, and a unit of 10 Blood Warriors. Them, together with the Priests and the Secretor, are going to be the Gore Pilgrims Battalion. So that's my second battalion, or that's how I get my second artifact and my. That's my battalion. I love that because it extends the range of the banner, which I really love. And then another battle line choice is going to be 30 Bloodletters. They have both banners. Again, work great in conjunction with the Bloodthirster's command ability and all the other buffs going on. It's great. So, what else is going on in this list? Oh, just so Nate is aware, Reapers of Vengeance also. If you fail a battle shock test within range of any of my demon units, an additional D3 models will flee from the unit no matter what you roll on top of that. So, although that's very unlikely to happen because things will probably just be dead. So, yay! 40 mortal wounds. Yay, Scarbrand. So, but anyway, I just wanted to get him out on the channel. We're gonna be trying to, like I said, run a little bit more competitive here. There's probably more competitive options. I know Tyrants of Blood is actually a really, really good one that I've been looking into, but I'm gonna need another. I want a real Bloodthirster to run that. I have an old one that I converted up, so maybe in the future we'll see that. And how the General's Handbook affected my list. I was actually running this list before, but with the points drops to Scarbrand, and the points drops to the Blood Secretor, and the points drops to the Unfettered Fury Bloodthirster, I ended up picking up another squad of 10 Reavers, so I'm at 1990 points for this battle here. So that's the Forces of Khorne for today. Moving on to turn 1. Here we are after deployment. Khorne won the roll-off, and I chose this side, and I deployed first. But Flesh Eater Courts did end up dropping first by 1 drop. Put the Terrorgeist down, and I still had Scarbrand. But we'll run through it real quick for you. So starting on the right, we've got 10 Blood Reavers right here making a screen. There's a unit of 5 Wrathmongers there, if you can see them past the wings. And there is 1 Slaughter Priest on the right, backed up by Scarbrand. And then over here, we've got a Slaughter Priest next to the altar with the Blood Secretor backed up by the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage. It's not Insensate Rage. Unfettered Fury. I know, I always mix them up. Unfettered Fury. 30 Bloodletters, screened out by 10 Blood Warriors and 10 Blood Reavers over here. And that is the Khorne deployment. And then over here for the Flesh Eater Courts, on their right flank, on the left, we'll start. So it looks like 10 ghouls there with the Arc Regent next to the throne. 6 Flayers, backed up by the Terrorgeist with the Vargulf in the middle. And a unit, is that 60 ghouls?
40.
40 ghouls. It looks like 60. 40 ghouls, and then the 3 horrors on the right. But there will be more Flesh Eater Courts coming as the carrion falls. They will call in more.
They'll be attracted by the fresh blood.
You know what? And I like fresh blood as well. So this is great. We should be friends after this. Yeah. So, okay. So there's deployment, and Flesh Eater Courts did deploy first. So Nate, are you going to take first turn or second?
Oh man. Do I feel like I let you have it, and then you can come up and grab the objective, and I have to fight you off, but then I get 3 points. 3 points is pretty sweet.
The shot for 3 points is nice. You have to beat me up, though.
Yeah, that's what you want.
I do want that. I like a good fight.
I think I will go first.
All right, there it is. Flesh Eater Courts, turn 1. All right, Flesh Eaters Court. Flesh Eaters. Flesh Eater Court. Turn 1. We've done the hero and the movement phase. Now that I can spit that out. This is where we're at. So what went down? So over here on the Flesh Eater Court's left side of the board to you, the viewer, in the hero phase, the Arc Regent was up here. He called in the ghouls. Yes?
Yeah, he did some of the ghouls.
Which came in a troop of ghouls off the back of the board there. That's 20 of them.
No, he moved away from my throne, so it cost me a command point.
Right. You didn't.
Yeah.
You wanted to make. So you're playing. You have a lot of command points. For those of you that may not have been paying attention or skipped the army breakdown, Nate has a battalion. So you'd start with 2 command points, and then he also has an ability to generate another command point on a 4+, which he did. So he was up to 3. And then while you were spending your command points, you have the Ether Quartz Brooch, which also you did roll the 5, which gave you another one. So you figured, you know what? I want to get into a better position for turns further down. So I am going to not use the free command point from the altar there, or from the throne, to get the free summons, because you have plenty of command points to go around.
Yes.
So that's the why there. And yes, he brought the ones in back here. And then you attempted to cast a spell. Which one again?
Well, he cast the Chalice, and then he attempted to cast Ferocious Hunger. I rolled a 2, so that didn't happen. And then
the Chalice was set up here in the middle, because it's 24 away, and he was standing right up here. Right. And now the Chalice will help you regenerate fallen ghouls or heal the Terrorgeist or something like that. So, and you failed the other spell?
Yeah, I failed the other spell, and then with the Terrorgeist, I failed to cast his regenerative healing ability, so that didn't work out either.
Yeah, so a weak magic phase here. I wasn't even in range to dispel or any of my other shenanigans.
Yeah.
It was just low rolling, but hey, you never know. That stuff comes across. And then the Terrorgeist Lord there also summoned in. He called in 3 flayers from over here on this side of the board. So there's the breakdown.
20 ghouls in the back, yeah.
Yep, we got that. And then the horrors moved up here. These ghouls did do the battalion's extra move, and then they moved again. That's why they're so far up there. Nate's goal here is to control the terrain, control the area, because the chest is going to move. It's either going to go in this area over here, it might go over here. But wherever it goes, Nate has decided to go with the split of his forces here in order to maximize his chances of getting the relocation orb.
Yes.
I, however, decided to put everything in the middle. So we're gonna see how this goes. Seems like the Flesh Eater Courts have a plan here, and we're gonna see what happens. So now we're moving to the shooting phase, and I believe you have some screaming to do.
Yes, so they're gonna be screaming at your Reaver.
Flayers are screaming into the Reavers there, and they have a bravery of 5, but they have a banner. Oh, wait, no, this squad does not have the banner.
Oh no!
Yeah, I gotta model them correctly next time. But this squad does not have the banner. It's on my other squad. When I originally built these, I did not foresee this. And that is the unit. So blood tithe point and lots of screaming on low bravery models will do that. But trick question, did I want them to live anyway? Blood for the blood god. That is a blood tithe point, and that is,
into your cutting point.
in all honesty, that's the only reason they're there. So thank you, Nate.
All right. Mission accomplished.
Got any other shooting?
No, and I guess no charges now.
No. They cleared them out, so there's no charges.
Unless the blood. No, that would be a.
You want to try that charge?
Oh, it's a double 6.
You gonna go for it? Could be risky. You sure you want to? It was a good roll,
It's close.
but no. And you're gonna hold with the ghouls in the middle here.
Ghouls ran to get up. I
Yes.
had to run the ghouls so that the Terrorgeist could be in range to count as 20 models.
Got it. So your attempt is to lock down this as much as possible.
Yes.
So, cool. So first blood to the Flesh Eater Courts, and that's that. We're moving on to Khorne. Right, after Khorne, Hero, and Movement, what do we got going on with this mess here? Okay, well, the Hero phase was kind of interesting. So first things first, I failed the Wrath Axe. I wanted to try to chuck it up in this direction here and hit the ghouls, but failed to do that, even with the reroll. Then the other Slaughter Priest did get the skulls out, put them over here to do a little bit of blockage, and they are both within 12 of the Terrorgeist. So that should help me try to negate some magic later on. Then I also did Blood Boil on the ghouls, and I think I killed 3 of them. I did 3 damage, but you did 3 Deathless saves?
Yeah.
And saved 3 of them.
No.
Oh, you needed 6s. My bad. He threw 3 5s. Sorry, I thought it was 5 plus.
Because I failed my spell.
Right, that's right.
Also deleted the chalice.
Yes, that's right. And then my Slaughter Priest also deleted the chalice with his Dispel attempt. I rolled a 12 on that, which was great. And then, killed 3 ghouls there from Blood Boil. Then I attempted to Blood Boil the Terrorgeist because the one Slaughter Priest was just in 16, right here, just in 16. Mate had moved in. But I rolled double 3, failing that cast, so no Blood Boil there. And then that was the Hero phase. So, I put the +1 save spell on the Blood Warriors and the +1 to hit on the Bloodletters. And then we went on to the movement phase, and as you can see, the Blood Warriors have they were in front of the Bloodletters, so they broke off to the left here in the gap where my Blood Reavers used to be, and they're going to go and attempt to tie up these flares. And my goal here is just to have like 1 or 2 models attack that one on the edge so that all these attacks are going to end up being lost, and hopefully we can just tie them down for a little bit. I think the Blood Warriors are up to that task. Then the Bloodletters, they moved up and ran 5, giving them a 10-inch move. They're 3 inches away right here and moving through the ruins on this side because I'm set up to do the 6-inch pylum, so I still will be able to charge from the command ability of the Unfettered Fury. He moved up in support there. Then in front of the altar, the Slaughter Priests and the Blood Secretor, you can see them in there. They are in there supporting the lines. The Wrathmongers moved over in a line over here, again to offer support. And then these Reavers formed a ring around Big Man Scarbrand because you know what happens when Scarbrand doesn't get to chop in the first turn. He gets to go crazy turn 2. So that's what we're setting up for. So that's that. So we're going to go to the shooting phase. So first up, in the shooting phase, Scarbrand is going to unleash the roar of total rage on the ghouls because they're the only thing in range. So he is lowest tier, so on a 4+. Nope, that would have done 1 mortal wound. And then we're going to do the whip from the Unfettered Fury is in 12 of the ghouls, so he's going to whip them. So it's 3s, and because he's a greater demon, they're going to do the reroll 1s. So that's 2 hits, and then 3s. So that's 2 minus 1s on the ghouls.
6s, make 1.
Make 1, and that is D3 damage. 2.
Oh, hold on. No,
2 damage.
Sorry.
Oh, 2 go through?
Yeah, sorry.
So 4 damage total.
All right, now I need to roll 2 more.
4 damage total.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought there were.
Oh, that way you're going to use those for your save. So
yeah.
1 save
So
from the
3
Deathless.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Cool. And that is it for our shooting. We do not have any more. So we're going to go into the charge phase, at which point I'm going to use the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury. It's going to use his command ability, which will not cost me a command point because of the Crimson Crown, which will allow all demons holy in 8, which the Bloodletters are, at least they should be, because that's how I set it up, to move. They're gonna, oh no, excuse me, holy in 16 for the pile-in. All the demons holy in 16 are gonna be able to do a 6-inch pile-in in the combat phase here. So we'll get that done. And then, do I have any other command abilities? Not yet. We'll see. For Reapers of Vengeance, I'm going to try to make these guys end holy in 8 so we can do the double attack if we need to. So we'll get that moved up and we'll come right back. Okay, so the charge phase, the Blood Warriors are going to attempt to charge over here. They are going to make it. That is actually, it doesn't look like it. One of the pips is weird, but that's a 5. So that's a 10-inch charge, which will make it in over there. So I'll get them moved up. And that is my only charge because I'm going to use the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury's command ability, which will not cost me a command point because of the Crimson Crown. Holy in 16, demons will be able to pile in, which is going to happen right there. So we'll get that moved up and come right back. So the Blood Warriors piled in. They're going to do combat first over here. They are in range of the Blood Secrator, who's way over here by the altar, because of the Gore Pilgrims. So here we go. They're hitting on 3s. No re-rolls here. Well, that was a good roll. And they're going to be wounding on 4s. Wow. So 5 no rends for 1 damage on the flares.
So they got 5 out of armor. Making none. And
so they all go through.
1 damage each?
Yep, 1 damage each.
6s.
5 damage. So I killed 1. All right. Good job, Blood Warriors. So now it goes Nate's pick, which will have to be the flares.
It has to be the flares.
Because he's not within 3 inches, so he cannot activate the ghouls yet. Not yet.
Upsetting. All right.
Okay, so the flayers piled in. They got 3 models in range to attack the Blood Warriors.
All right.
So what are we hitting on?
So we're hitting on 4s. 6s do mortal wounds. Wow. Sad. Really sad.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
So 1 mortal went through, though.
And then wounding on 3s, and it's mortal in addition.
And that guy, too, right?
No, that's the terrain dice.
Oh, that's the terrain. Okay.
So you got 3 saves at a -1, and then 1 mortal.
Okay, so 3 saves at -1 and a mortal go through. I do have +1 save, so that makes it a 4-up save for these guys. And 6 is the save will do mortals back. Okay. 1 mortal back and 1 wound. Plus, you did 1 wound from the mortals, which will kill a guy. So I'm going to pick this guy, and he's going to pile in 3 and attack you. All right, the Blood Warrior that was slain piled in an attack, hitting on 3s. Ooh, he's angry. He's real angry. Wounded on 4s, though. 2 wounds go through. No rend.
5 up. Nope.
And Deathless.
Nope.
So 2 more. We killed a... Wow, they took down 2 flayers over there. Excellent work from the Blood Warriors. Okay, so that means it is Khorne's turn to pile in again, and we are going to do the Bloodletters. Moving it up and coming right back. All right, so we piled all the Bloodletters in 6 with the command ability from the Unfettered Fury. Now, where his base is, he's floating a little bit, but we pre-measured everything. The whole unit is fully within 8 of him. Now, I do have to preface this by saying, so some of you astute viewers might be noticing that my Bloodletters are on 25 millimeters, when the official base size for this unit, because I built them with what was supplied.
Yes.
Because this is an old squad. Now, maybe I'll get around to rebasing them, but honestly, the fact that they changed their base size really made me angry. And I don't really want to rebase them, so I probably am not going to. However, the official GW rules in the, I believe it's a designer's commentary, says that what do you do if they are the wrong base size? Well, you can still play them. You just use them as if they're on the proper. So that's what we're going to be doing. So what will end up happening here is we'll lose 1 guy off the right side for the width, and then we're not allowed to fight in 2 ranks. It would only be units or models that have 2 bloodletters touching them, and if there's a 1 in the gap, he would be able to, if they were on 32, still attack with the 1-inch attack. So we're going to get all that worked out and come right back to you. But it will cut down on some of the damage output that I have. So there's my preface, and it is official. It is in the rules. So we'll get all those attacks here, and we'll come right back. Okay, and here we are. We got all the dice ready. There are 14 bloodletters, including the bloodletter champion, in range of the ghouls. They are normally hitting on 4s, but they have more than 20 models, so they're hitting on 3s. Then they have the killing frenzy prayer put on them, so now they're hitting on 2s. They are also fully within 16 of a greater demon of Khorne, so they're hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. And 6s here are going to be doing mortals in addition to normal damage. Reroll the 1s. And I rolled a lot of 6s, holy cow. So, so 10 mortals, and they all hit. 3s. Okay. Okay. So we've got 20 -1 saves and 10 mortals.
So 30 mortal wounds is what it comes out to.
Because they only have a 6-up save. So 30 damage going through on the ghouls. And now we're going to get all the deathless saves, and we'll get right back. All right, so here's the deathless saves for the ghouls. Actually, that was really good. Saved quite a few.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice.
All right.
So that's 22 dead?
22 dead.
22 ghouls dead. Okay, so after the ghouls were removed, he tried to do the best he could to get them to be more than 3 away from me, because if you're more than 3 away, I can't actually use the Reapers of Vengeance command ability to allow them to pile in an attack again. It would be from this guy. So the issue is he couldn't quite get them out of 3. So I could spend it to pile in it again. Now, since I am able to attack again, I can pile in 6 again and attack, because that command ability from the Unfettered Fury lasts for the phase. So I am going to use the command ability to pile in the bloodletters again and attack the ghouls, and hopefully we can finish them off. I'm going to try to stay more than 3 away from the Terrorgeist, because he counts as 20 models as a cap. So I should have enough to get in here, and I don't want to lose any if he attacks me, because they hit really hard. I should have more models than him to get the objective. Okay, so I was consulting the rules again, and we noticed for Reapers of Vengeance that leave none alive, the way it's written, you have to preload the double attack. However, I talked to Nate. It was my intention the entire time to double attack here, because honestly, I can't even use it over here, and there's no other combats, and that's why I moved the way that I did. So, but for future reference, it says at the start of the combat phase you have to charge up this squad, and they have to be within 3. So it's actually, I guess, kind of hard to get it off. But anyway, we're doing the pile-in and attack here for these, and there are 10 in on the pile-in, plus the champion, so that's 11 attacks. They were still going to be hitting on 2s. Rerolling the 1s. And 2s. Okay. And then, so that is going to look like 4 mortals go through, and to wound on 3s. To wound, so that's 10 -1s and 4 mortals going through on the ghouls.
Alright, so 6s, and that's 1. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13? Still some there?
13, it's exactly 13.
Exactly amount. Okay.
A miscalculation.
So yes, Nate is
A grave miscalculation. Pardon the pun.
the grave miscalculation. Nate did not think that I would be able to put out that much damage. So now there's a chance that we're not doing this right with the rules, but from the way that it's written, I feel like we followed all the rules. Staying within 8, spending the command point on the squad, and that kind of stuff. They would be in 3 to do these things for the double attack because he didn't get out of range. So over here we lost 1 blood warrior, and they are 6. So on the 6, I'll lose another one. Nope, that's a 1. So they hold strong. Khorne does pick up 3 for holding the chest, but it is going to move. It is relocation orb, and you never know where it's going to move. So, but now I have to also roll for the skulls to see if they disappear. They are out of range of a priest. See, Nate was all lamenting the fact that the skulls are just going to shut him down. But if you go second, those skulls sometimes just don't do what you want. So on a 5+, they stick around. No, the skulls do disappear and do absolutely nothing. My big complaint with the skulls is that if you go second, it's pretty rough. So, and then we go to the roll-off. Here we go. Flesh Eater Courts do win the roll-off with a 5. Okay, so the relocation orb, we're going to roll to see where it goes, and then Nate will decide which turn that he wants. So on a 5, the orb is actually going to move down to this position over here. So do you want to go, or do you want to let me go, or what? I think you're still going to go, probably.
I'm still going to
go. All right, that'd be scary. So, all right. So Nate is going to take turn 2 for the Flesh Eater Court. Okay, so here we are breaking into this is pre-hero phase Flesh Eater Courts turn 2. And we're having a bit of the discussion because, like I said in the beginning, when we play competitive, the whole goal is not to just smash each other in the face. It's to improve our gameplay as best that we can because we're club mates. That's what we do. We're friends. So there you go, internet. So, but anyway, we're discussing what Nate should do because this was a huge blow. Nate's feeling pretty demoralized from that, and so he's deciding what to do. The chest did move over to here, which currently I would have it. However, we feel through the screams and the attacks and the Arch Regent and back up with the ghouls, there is a good chance that those Blood Warriors are going to die because they're pretty low on the bravery side of things. They're only like a 6. Yeah. So that puts Nate in an interesting position. He does have units here. He has the horrors. He's got some ghouls coming in. If the chest stays here and he controls it, he'll get 1 point to my 3. Then there's a good chance that he was saying what to do with the Terrorgeist. And is he gonna have the Terrorgeist come in and wipe out the Bloodletters? Because now they're a huge threat at this point. They could wipe out the Terrorgeist. They could move in and wipe out and take this whole area, and they have a ton of bodies to control the objective. If on turn 3 the objective moves into the middle, it's almost guaranteed that if they're still there, they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
So he could go kill them, and honestly, a Terrorgeist is probably gonna wipe that squad out.
I've done it before. It leaves about 5 or 6.
Right, which I'll probably, unless I get a lucky 1 on the battle shock, I'm gone. Or again, spending a precious command point to keep them around. I don't even know. So, or he could come over here with support from these flayers, could attempt to again scream these Reavers, kill them, which is a good chance that he would. Yeah. And then have the Terrorgeist come in and murder Scarbrand. Now, that is not a 100% go. You know, he has 14 wounds. There is a chance that Nate leaves Scarbrand on 1 wound, which would be bad for the Terrorgeist because the odds of the Terrorgeist dying are extremely high if Scarbrand gets to swing.
Yeah.
But what would he accomplish if he did kill Scarbrand, right? So let's say he does. He kills the Reavers. He kills Scarbrand.
More victory.
Right. Then he's either I'm going to have to choose. The Bloodletters could easily kill the Terrorgeist when they go in, or the Wrathmongers plus a double attacking Bloodthirster, they could also kill the Terrorgeist. It's almost suicide if the Terrorgeist goes in here, even if he does accomplish the task of killing Scarbrand. So Nate is surveying the field. There's a chance that the chest does go over this way. It's like a 50-50. If it goes that way,
it's like right here.
That could be huge because I'm going to want to take the double turn to get in a position. I'm slow. So Nate, what he's feeling is, we discussed it. I think he's going to do a fallback here. He's going to play smart. He's going to play tactical, surveying the field and trying to play the objective. The Terrorgeist is going to end up moving back in this direction to get away from the Bloodletters. And he's going to try to secure this objective for this turn and then milk the fact that he is way faster than me. And hopefully the chest plays along. But I agree. I think it's honestly your smartest tactical move at this point. You can't lose too many more of your tools in this fight. You're going to have to use your speed to your advantage. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the hero phase and the movement and come back. But we wanted to share a little bit of our insights here. Okay. Flesh Eater Quartz. Turn 2. We've done the hero and we've done the movement phase. What went down? Okay, so over here, the Arc Regent, he attempted to cast the spell that give plus D3 attacks to the Flayers, and he failed to cast it, sadly, on a double 1. And then he did cast the Chalice, which is strategically placed where it's striking 5 of my Blood Warriors, so it could be charged up from that if they die. However, it is more than 30 away from any of my unbinders, so I will not have the chance to unbind it this turn at least. And then the Ghouls and the Arc Regent moved down into this area over here. And then, as you can see, the Vargulf used a command point, which you did not regain from the Ether Quartz Brooch, to teleport from, and that's Blister Skin, over to here for the Blister Skin and command ability. And then he has Fly, right?
Yes.
That's why he can do that. Okay, awesome. So very tactical. Now he's there so that he can help regenerate the Flayers.
Yes.
Yeah, which Nate's playing for the future turns here. He's taking a strategic fallback move to reassess. So that's why he's doing that. And then over here, the Terrorgeist, you can see, is not there anymore because it has moved back here. But before it did that, it did actually cast the wall. Now, he cast it. He is in range of the Blood Secretor, who's over here, so he had to recast it. But his reroll on it was higher. It was an 11, so I failed to unbind. So he does put up the wall, which will have the movement characteristic of the Bloodletters, which is huge, and it also blocks their movement over that direction. So if it does hang around, that was a very smart move there. Then the Ghouls consolidated their position again, waiting for later turns if the orb is going to move that direction. He didn't see a need to run in and just lose them for no reason. But here the horrors, what their goal here is, they're moving in. The goal is to do as much damage to these Bloodletters as possible. Cut down some of their models. They are very easy to kill. So this could be a smart move. And he has positioned it so that they can be in range of the Terrorgeist's ability to allow them to re-roll their attacks to maybe put out some more damage. And then over here on the right, the Flayers have moved up on top of the tower here. They're attempting to scream at the Reavers to get rid of them. They are danger close to Scarbrand, but again, if I were to commit Scarbrand to just kill 3 Flayers, I'm a fool, and Khorne should curse me. So I think it's a wise move, because if I do take that bait, which is what it is, I would be putting Scarbrand massively out of position, and I do not think that is wise. So there you go. That is the lay of the land after Flesh Eater Quartz, turn 2, hero, and move. Now we're moving into the shooting. So who's screaming first? We got screams here.
All right. So when we do this, we don't get the -2. So it's strictly against your leadership, which is?
I believe there's 6.
6?
Yep. So bravery 6 on the Blood Warriors. Here we go with the screams from the Flayers.
Scream number 1. So that's 1.
1 mortal so far.
Scream number 2. So that's 3.
3. So 4 damage so far. That's 2 dead.
Okay.
And it's 2 more, so that's 3 dead. No, 1 more. So 2.5 dead. So 2.5 die. Okay, so now they don't get to pile in an attack because that was a shooting attack. So we'll remove them up and come back for the next round of shooting. So these Flayers are going to indeed be screaming in here, and this is at -2, right?
-2, so.
And they are bravery 6.
So,
wow.
So that's 3.
Ouch! So 3 dead so far. 6 dead. Holy cow.
Nothing.
So 6 die, though. That is brutal stuff. Man, my Reavers just can't stand the sound of flying vampire bats. So 6 dead, we'll get that removed up. And is that all your shooting?
That is all my
That is all the shooting, so we're going to be moving into charge. Okay, so the horrors are charging in. 7. That's definitely going to do it. So we'll get them moved in, and the next charge is going to be the Vargulf.
Needs a 9.
Needs a 9. He's 9 away. Close, but no cigar. No command point there?
No, I don't have
All
a
right.
point.
That's what I thought. All right, so we'll get the horrors moved in and come right back to combat. All right, the horrors charged in, did their piling, and they're attacking. Here we go.
So we're hitting on 4s, rerolling everything.
Because they are in range of the Terrorgeist King.
Okay.
Picked up 1. All right.
Okay. And then 3s to wound. 6s will do 3 damage if they go through. All right. So we got 1, 6, and then 5 3s.
You don't get to reroll the wound?
No.
Okay.
No, just the.
So 1, 6. No rend, so I have a 5. Oh, I save it. And then it's 5, you said?
Yep.
Here we go. 5s. So 8 die.
8 die.
That's pretty good. Take a big chunk out of them. All right, so we'll get those removed, and then next up to attack is going to be the Blood Warrior. All right, after the pile-in for the Blood Warriors, 2 are not going to be able to make it, but 1 can fight through the gap, and he is the champion. So 4 plus the champion, plus they're in range of the Gore Pilgrim's banner, makes 3 attacks each, 4 for the champion, hitting on 3s. Ooh, that was not good. That was not good at all. And then 4s. That was good. I'll take that. So 5 wounds, no rend, 1 damage.
5.
So save 1, 4 go through, and then you have deathless. So 4 go through. So did we chop 1 down?
Is the worst thing.
All right, chopped 1 down. And then flayers are gonna attack back. All right.
Players hitting on 4s need 6s for mortals in addition. Okay, so that's 2 mortals and a lot of misses. Alright.
So 2 mortals so far.
3s. So that is 1, 2, 3. At a -1.
3 at a -1, but they still have their prayer up. So 4s. So you take 1 mortal back. 2 go through. Are they 2 damage? 1 damage. 1 damage. So yeah, you take a mortal back, and you did 4 damage total. Yep.
Right. And then 6 up save? No. Okay.
So 2 die, which I'm just going to pull. I'm going to pull this guy and this guy, which means that they will attack again. Oh, excuse me. That's not correct. I have to pull the guy that was wounded. Knocking people over. We'll wound this guy up here. So the 2 that died, attacking back. They will have 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Only 2 hits. And then wounding on 4s. So 1 wound. No rend, 1 damage.
5 up. Made it.
Saved it.
Alright.
Cool.
Command point.
You're gonna, Flesh Eater Course are spending the command point for everybody's favorite.
Feeding frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy. They're going to attack again.
On a 5 up, I keep it. Nope.
Do not keep the command point from Ether Quartz Brooch. So, Flayer's coming back in.
Okay. So, same thing. Wow. Alright. So,
Another mortal,
1 mortal.
which will kill a guy. 3 saves and a 4 up. No mortal, so you killed a guy and put a wound on another one. He piles in and attacks you. All hit. And wounding on 4s. 2 more wounds. Fail, fail, and deathless. Saved 1. Okay, so cool. And putting a wound on another guy up front there. So there we go.
And I lose.
Cut down 3 of the Blood Warriors. Okay, Bloodletters have piled in on the horrors. We had 12 in, plus the champion. And they are under the influence of the banner. So here we go. They're hitting still on 2s because the prayer is still up as well. So 2s, and they are wholly in 16 of the Bloodthirster. So they're going to reroll 1s. 6s, we'll pull those. So that's 3 mortals so far from the 6s. And then we are wounding on 3s. 18 -1s and 3 mortal wounds going through onto the horrors. Are they in range for the deathless? No. I think in the grand scheme it might be a good sacrifice just to kill a handful of the bloodletters.
They're all dead. 4, 8.
Okay, so bloodletters proving their worth. Chopping down the horrors and gaining another blood tithe. All right, so battle shocks for the Blood Warriors. I did lose 3 of them. They are only bravery 6. So here we go, battle shock test. So one is gonna run away. One's gonna run away. Didn't quite get enough to get the chest. It's 3 to 3 models. Oh, yeah, no one gains control of it because no one had control of it.
Right.
Right, so that's how that'll work. And then Battle Shock for the Bloodletters. They are Bravery 10, but we lost 8. And then on a 1, I can get Bloodletters back? No, that's a 3, so 11.
You're 12.
But I have 12 because they have 20 models, so they stay. No Bloodletters are going to flee or disappear into the warp. So, what? Oh, I forgot about my little meat sacks back here. I intentionally killed the banner off on these guys because I want them to die and give me blood tithe points. So they lost 6. They're only bravery 5. They rolled 2, so that is 8, which is going to kill 2 more. They are not quite dead. Much to my chagrin, I'll have to suicide them. I'll suicide them into the flayers. So, but anyway, that is that. Nate did not grab the chest. Sadly, the flayers underperformed. Oh no, they did not do. They just needed to do 2 more damage to kill 1 more of those Blood Warriors. Or if I would have just rolled a 5 instead of a 4 on my battle shot. All right, so Khorne, hero, and move is done. What did we do? So Khorne, the slaughter priests were back here by the shrine. We dispelled the wall. We then threw out the skulls, who are both just in range of the terrorgeist hanging out back there behind the tower. We threw out the wrath axe. It didn't hit anything, but I'm kind of like saying, hey, you know what? If it sticks around and flies over the building, it could hit these guys in the next turn. We'll see, but either way, I could try to recast it again anyway. Oh, these guys, I forgot to move them up. They're going to be suiciding into those flayers. The whole blob moved up this way because there weren't any other. I tried to do the 2 buffs. Sorry, there were other hero phase things. I failed the +1 armor save, but I did get the +1 to hit off on the Bloodthirster, and then that was it for the hero phase. And everybody moved over in this direction. Scarbrand again supported in the middle. The Bloodletters, I felt we should stay there in case the chest comes back. Because I did move in 6 inches of the chest, and this guy has an artifact, so he is going to count as 20 models, so I will gain it. I didn't think I needed to commit everything that way at this point. So that's that. We're going into the shooting phase, and the Bloodthirster is going to use his whip. He's going to whip the flayers. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, 2 hits, and wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds at -1 on the flayers.
So 6. No.
So D3 each from the whip. So that's 4 damage. And
6, and I completely forgot about the chalice last turn.
You did kill.
Oh well.
Yeah, you did kill 5. So, was anybody wounded? Because you would have just healed him back up.
Okay, and then.
Yes, then he dies from the whip. Okay, so 1 goes down from the whip because you would have healed him up. No problems there. And that's it. That's all the shooting I've got. And we're going to be... I don't think I even have any charge. Oh, yes, I do. I have charges from the Blood Reavers on the right. We'll get that done. And we have a pile-in over here coming right back at you. All right, so the Blood Reavers did make their charge on the right. I'm not even going to disgrace you by watching these 2 Blood Reavers try to fight these flayers. But we're going to trigger the Blood Warriors first. And they're going to be hitting on 3s. All right, solid roll. Pretty average. And... you know, if you can roll average, it is solid, I think. So, and then 4s to wound. So that's 4 wounds going through on the flayers. These warriors are really doing work.
5s.
Okay, 2 saves.
I can throw a save.
2 deathless. So 2 damage going through, that's it. All right, and then next what'll happen is these flayers murder train those reavers, so that we're just going to consider them dead, and I'll get a blood die from that. And then we're back over to these flayers over here.
I can roll
you want to roll it?
Here, let's
this is the kill on the reavers. Okay, and they're dead.
No, I didn't roll any 6s.
No mortals.
No mortals.
I'm pretty sure they're going to die.
Roll 1s and 2s. Come on.
You did 3 damage. Are they rend? Do they rend?
Red 1.
You did kill them. I told you you would kill them. So they're dead. And that brings me up to 4 blood tie. And now we are on these flayers right here.
Right.
Attacking the blood warriors.
For the champion.
All right. That is a mortal going through.
Okay. And then 3.
2.
2 -1s.
They don't have the armor, so 5s this time. 2 go through. So that is 3 damage total. That'll kill 1, and he will attack back with the aid of the banner. That is 1 hit. That is 2 more wounds. Oh, wow, these warriors are just doing work over here.
Right.
Bringing the flayers down to 1. There's 1 wounded warrior there, and I'll get that wound out, and we'll come back to you. And that'll be that turn. We'll have to do battle shocks, right?
I don't have any.
You don't have any battle shocks because you only lost 1 model. I lost 1 model, putting me down to bravery 5. I do lose another. Fleas, there's 1 blood warrior remaining. The champion, strong and proud on his own. And then, yep, there was no damage done over here by the dead reavers. We'll pull them off. And but end of round 2. Khorne does get 3 more points because the Bloodthirster is within 6, counting as 20 models because he does have an artifact. So that's that. Now we need to roll to see if my judgments go away. The Wrath Axe, 5+, it stays. And the skulls, do they stick around? No, skulls are going to disappear. So we're doing the relocation orb first before we roll for initiative. So Nate's going to roll it. A 6, that is exactly what Nate wanted. 4 through 6 makes it go 12 inches to the left, which will make sure that it's easily grabbable if it's in that building there. A 1 through 3 would have put it back in the middle. So fate has decided that the chest is going to move towards the Flesh Eater Courts. Now we roll for initiative. 5. What did the Khorne get? 2. Flesh Eater Court's choice. What are you going to do? You're going to give it to me? I am pretty out of position, honestly, if you look at it. I'm pretty far away.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to give it to you.
You're going to give it to me?
Yeah.
All right, so Khorne, turn 3, coming up. Okay, so the Khorne, turn 3, hero phase is complete. Slaughter Priests, we recast the skulls up here. They're both in range of the Terrorgeist. The axe that didn't go away actually flew over the building and attempted to do the big chop on the flayer there, but I rolled a 1, so it didn't do anything. So Wrath Axe, not doing so hot so far. The Bloodthirster, oh, he didn't do any hero phase stuff. He got the +1 to hit and the +1 save prayer put on him by the Slaughter Priest, but there were nobody else in range to do anything to. In the middle here, we consolidated our position around Scarbrand in the hopes that the relic, because next turn it could fly back to the middle, comes back to the middle, and I made sure there's a bit of a 3-inch bubble around him so no nasty Terrorgeist bites can come flying through there. So the Bloodthirster, however, is going to be going for the chest on this side. He has his whip. He is going to whip the Arc Regent because he's the guy we need to kill. -1 to hit, so he's hitting on 4s, and he rerolls 1s. So that's going to be 2 hits from the whip, wounding on 3s. That is 1 wound at -1 on the Arc Regent from the whip.
So 4 up goes to a 5. Nope.
Goes through for D3 damage, 2 damage.
6s.
Oh, I thought it was 1 at first. So 2 damage goes through, bringing him to 4 left. 3. He has 7?
7.
So 5 left. Wow, he's tough. And that is, I don't have any other shooting attacks on the field, so we're going to go right into the combat phase. So start of the combat phase, I am going to spend a command point for Reapers of Vengeance on the Bloodthirster, and he's going to use his 6-inch pile-in move because it's free, so I might as well do it. So shablam, he's doing all of his stuff, and we'll get him moved up and come right back. All right, Bloodthirster has ended his pile-in move closer to the closest, but he had a 6-inch move, which would have been the Flayer behind there. So it does bring him into 2 inches of the Arc Regent. We have to kill the Arc Regent to gain the objective, so that's what we're going to go for. He has 7 attacks because he is under the influence of the banner. Hitting on 3s. Ooh, hits with everything. Wounding on 2s. That's 7 minus 2s. Oh, he has a 6 up. Okay. So 73. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage onto the Arc Regent from the Savage Bloodthirster.
Jesus. All right.
So that slays the Arc Regent, getting us 5 Blood Tithe points. And since I am Reapers of Vengeance, he is going to pile in and attack again with his attacks. So what we're going to do, probably the biggest threat over here, is the Vargolf at this point. Yeah, we're going to go for the Vargolf. So hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because he's a greater demon. And wounding on 2s. So that's 4 minus 2s this time.
Straight through.
Straight through. So D3 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage into the Vargolf from the Bloodthirster.
And I failed to make a single save. So
Didn't make any. Oh, so he kills him too, bringing us up to 6 Blood Tithe and the Bloodthirster making his presence known. So it's going to go over to Nate for his pile-in, which will be the Ghouls or the Flayer. All right, so the Flayer here is going to be attacking the Blood Warrior. He has that -1 to hit from the Wrath Axe. So 2 hits. One's a mortal, unmodified, so that finishes him off, kills him. He's going to pile in and attack. He's the champ, so he has 4. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s. So 1 wound into that Flayer from the death throes of the champion. Does go through. Does 1 damage goes through onto the Flayer, and that is that. So it will go to the Ghouls that are up here onto the Bloodthirster will be next. All right, so the Ghouls did manage to just get out of 3 inches of the Wrath Axe, so normal attacks here for them.
So 4s and 4s, no rend.
Ton of attacks coming in. That was a pretty good roll. Let's see. They need the 4s to wound. The Bloodthirster is rocking 14, so can they take a chunk of damage out of him? 4?
4.
4 go through. I did forget to do the +1 to hit, but it didn't matter at that point. With the +1 save, he does have a 3-up save. 2 damage going through on the Bloodthirster, bringing him down to 12. And that will be the Khorne phase. I did pick up this chest, the objective here, because the Bloodthirster, since he has an artifact, counts as 20 models, giving me 1 point. And we are going into the Flesh Eater Courts, turn 3. All right, after the Flesh Eater Court's hero and movement phase, what went down? Skulls were in range of the Terrorgeist, who was back here. So Nate, since he didn't really have like a super good spell to cast anyway, opted to not cast because he didn't want to suffer undue damage. Then in the movement phase, what happened was the Terrorgeist flew up in the sky and landed 6 inches away over here on this side to be away from the Wrath Axe, potential retribution. And this Flayer, who was here in combat, fell back up to here, and the Ghouls stayed in to tie up. Now, these 2 models here, he is a wizard, Therefore, he counts as 20 plus 1 for the Flayer. Yep. That'll do it. That'll give him the 3 points, which is what he really needed. And then over here on this side, the Flayers here and the Ghouls, again, moving into a position for later turns. They don't want to attack the stronghold of Scarbrand here in the middle. But not yet, anyway. So that's that. We're going into shooting.
No.
No shooting? You're not doing any shooting? Combat!
I ran.
That's right. You ran with everybody or fell back.
Yeah.
The Terrorgeist can't scream?
No. Oh.
Yeah, he could scream.
I guess he could.
Is he? Oh, maybe he's not in range.
10 inches?
Maybe he is in range. Scream at the Bloodthirster.
I mean, yep. Okay, but you're leadership 10, so...
I am.
I need a 6.
No.
Nope.
Worth a shot to get some damage. Didn't work this time. Going into combat, so you're going to initiate the Ghouls?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Get them up and then come right back. Ghouls going into the Bloodthirster.
So 4s, we're rolling 1s now because the Ghoul King is over here.
Getting some support. All right. Doing some solid hits. Can they pull it through on the wounds and get past the armor of the Bloodthirster? Ooh. Not bad.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this time.
6 wounds coming through. 3 up save. Failed 2. So taking 2 more damage, bringing the Bloodthirster down to 10 wounds remaining. And then it is the Bloodthirster's turn. hey, no, you don't know yet. Hey. So, Bloodthirster attacking back. All right, Bloodthirster. It was knocked down a bracket, so now he's going to be wounding on 3s instead of 2s. But now I remember he has the +1 to hit. So he's hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s with his 7 attacks from the banner, and now wounding on 3s. Ooh, failed quite a few there. So 3 going through at -2 on the Ghouls. I'm assuming that goes right through their armor. So that is 6, 7, 8 damage going through on the Ghouls from the Bloodthirster. 8 damage on the Ghouls.
Try and save someone from death save.
Death save. So 7 die. 7 die. I don't think that's going to be enough to finish them off, and I didn't spend the command point. So we are going to be locked in combat there. So that is the end of turn 3. Flesh Eater Court's turn. They are going to pick up the chest. You can see it right here because they have 20 + 1 models in range thanks to the...
Right.
Oh, we're going to do Battle Shock.
7,
my bad.
8.
Woo. You pass?
Pass Battle Shock.
Good, because D3 more would have run away since Reapers of Vengeance. But not today. Not today. So that's that. Flesh Eater Court's picking up 3. Now I got to roll for the judgments. The Wrath Axe stays. Big. That's huge. Skulls do not stay. They go away yet again. We'll pull them off. And now we roll for the Orb. So rolling for the Orb.
On a 4, 5, or 6, it goes back to the middle. And a 1, 2, or 3, it goes back 12 inches this way.
You sure about that?
I am.
You sure about that?
Almost 100%. Well, it's a 50-50 either way, so it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, 1 to 3 it goes back, 4 to 6 it goes the whole way back to the middle. So.
All right, Nate, you want to roll it?
Here we go. And that's it.
It goes to the middle?
That is, yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Here we go.
Okay, so then the roll off. See who goes.
Yep. 4 for and the Flesh Eater Courts get to choose yet again. The Orb has moved to the middle of the table, just where Scarbrand wanted it. What are we gonna do?
If I kill Scarbrand,
7 to 8.
20 Bloodletters and 5 Wrathmongers and 3 characters.
It's a big ask. It's a big ask.
Our guys start scary, but not that scary.
So the question is, though, Nate, since it's such a big ask, how much does your Flesh Eater Court Lord love ask?
Well, then I guess I have to give you the turn and then hope that I can retake the chest in the middle. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. The good news is those ghouls stuck around and tied up that Bloodthirster, so you're not really going to have to worry about your Terrorgeist getting hit. I think it's the right move, and we'll see what happens. I might have to get aggressive here, though. So we'll see what happens going into Khorne. Turn 4. After Khorne, hero, and movement phase, what went down? Well, we got a command point. We're up to 3. We have the Blood Tithe, and I am... Oh, do I hold on to it? I am going to spend my Blood Tithe. I have 6 currently. And I'm going to spend it on Relentless Fury, which until my next hero phase, anytime a Khorne model dies, it can pile in and attack. I think this is going to give me the defense I need in case I get double turned or something like that, because that'll last all the way until my next hero phase. So 6 Blood Tithe has been expended on Relentless Fury, and I love it. So that's that. Over here, we had the Wrathmongers advance up. They did a 5. They're moving there to support Scarbrand, even if they don't make it in. Scarbrand. Now, competitively, some people, I don't know, disagree, but the way we have seen it played and the way we play it in a competitive setting is these trees come off, so most people just move them out of the way for big guys to run through because it creates logistic problems. So anyway, Scarbrand is going through the woods, which is how we decided to do it. And the Blood Letters moved up 5. They're going to try to get up there and finish those ghouls off. Priests and Secretor holding down this area over here. And would you believe it? The Wrath Axe flew over the ghouls and only killed 1 thanks to the Deathless saves. And then it tried the big chop on that Flayer again and again rolled a 1. That Flayer is just deflecting the Wrath Axe left and right. And then we summoned the skulls over here. So we're going to be moving into the Khorne shooting. All right. The Wrath of Khorne did not lose attack on his whip because he's down to 10 wounds. He hits on 3s on the ghouls, re-rolling 1s because he's a greater demon. That's 3 hits and wounding on 3s. 2 -1s on the ghouls. Goes right through, D3 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on the ghouls. 4, that'll do it. We pick up a Blood Tithe point and free up the Bloodthirster. Okay, Scarbrand is super angry, so he's going to do his roar. Can you measure it up there, Nate? Are you seeing an 8 of anything over there? Not the Flayers, maybe the ghouls?
Yes, the ghouls.
The ghouls? All right, we're going to roar at those ghouls. Scarbrand bellows at the ghouls. 4 pluses, since he's super angry. Just 1 mortal wound on the ghouls. And they don't have their Deathless, so 1 goes down. Going into charges now. Scarbrand, you're our boy. Now, he can re-roll charges all the time, so here we go. Rolling the charge. That's a 7. I don't think he's going to make it. He's going to re-roll it. 7 again. Scarbrand is not going to make that charge. Nope, not even on the ghouls. Cool. And then the Blood Letters are going to do their charge. They do have a banner. They got a 7. Is that going to do it for the Blood Letters?
Yes.
I could re-roll to get more in.
7. It's just the front. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'll keep it. All right. Blood Letters will be coming in. And then the big charge over here. We need a 9 to make it in with the Bloodthirster. Here we go. Khorne loves it. Bloodthirster is going to make it in on a 9. All right, so we'll get them all moved up. Start of the combat phase 2. Obviously, I'm going to be spending my Reapers of Vengeance on the Bloodthirster, and he doesn't need a 6-inch pile in 1. So I had to do the charge, otherwise I wouldn't make it. So there's no sense in using it now. So we'll get those moved up and come right back. All right, Mighty Bloodthirster against Horrific Terrorgeist. Who's going to win? I am out of the banner range now, so I only have 6 attacks, and I'm hitting on 3s. Okay, so 5 hits there. And then since I am down to 1 bracket, I'm going to be wounding on 3s. Oh, geez. Only 2 going through. -2.
Okay, so 4 up goes to a 6.
And that's D3 each. Geez, I'm only doing 3 damage to you. Just 2 damage. But I did Reapers of Vengeance him, so he's going to attack again.
Lovely.
3s. Okay, same thing. 5 hits. And 3s. Come on, we need a better wound roll. Not a better wound roll. Only 3. Going through again. All right. 3d3. Wow, low rolls, 4 damage. Bloodthirster flubbing his rolls as he comes in. 6 damage done to the Terrorgeist. That was not the best trade in the world. Okay, over to the Flesh Eater Courts. The ghouls are going to be coming in on the Bloodletters. All right, ghouls coming into the Bloodletters. 32 attacks. 4s?
4s.
And they are not supported right now, as much of the map is. We are very spread out thanks to the relocation orb mission. 4's the wound?
Yep. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 wounds coming through on the blood letters. No rand, I assume?
No rand.
5 up. Save 2. So 5 bloodletters are going to go down.
Okay.
And we'll do the bloodletters next and come right back. Bloodletters have 11 models going into the ghouls. They are under the influence of the banner and rerolling 1s, and they have the +1 to hit prayer on them. So here we go. Reroll them 1s. Not a lot of 6s in that roll. Okay, so you take just 2 mortals in all of that, and then 3s to wound. Not a strong showing on the wound roll, but a lot of damage. So 14 minus 1s, and they do not have a death list. Is that enough to put them down? There are 3 ghouls remaining after that slaughter incarnate over there. And we're going to go over to the left side of the table. Left side of the table. And the Terrorgeist and the Flayer still need to come in and see if they can take down the Bloodthirster.
So, King on top.
King is going first.
5 attacks, 3's free, friend 1. Lovely.
2 hits. 1 wound.
1, friend 1.
That's a save on a 6.
4 attacks with the claws, hitting on 4s. And lovely. Wounding on a 3.
No wound. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Jaws.
Here we go. Big bite.
on 4.
Looking for those 6s.
Lovely.
You get the reroll from your, yep. All hit though. All wound? 3 wounds at -2.
Yeah.
6 to save. We save 1. 2 go through. 2d6 damage. For 8 damage. He has 2 left. Maybe the Flayer can finish off this Bloodthirster that has ravaged the left side of the board. Come on. Come on, little Flayer. You can do it.
Unfortunately,
The Flayer that dodged the Wrath Axe twice. He is destined for this.
oh my gosh.
2 mortal wounds! 2 mortal wounds is enough to slay the Bloodthirster from the ordained by fate and destiny Flayer. This guy,
All this shit.
woo, he's tearing me apart. That was great stuff. It's the end of Khorne turn 4. Does the Wrath Axe disappear? It finally does. Do the skulls disappear? They do. And Battle Shock, I rolled already for the Bloodletters. None run away. I rolled a 3, but I also did not regain any. The ghouls did flee, so that gets another Blood Tithe. I'm back up to 3. We claimed the chest. This guy right here actually has an artifact, so he's 20 models, getting us 1 point, which makes it 8-4 currently. But man, that Flayer coming through strong, killing the Bloodthirster, clearing out this whole side of the board. It has been a brutal mess. How are the Flesh Eater Courts going to respond? Let's find out. Flesh Eater Courts, turn 4. All right, so we forgot one thing. We're going to back up a second. And we already did it before he moved and everything. When the Bloodthirster died, I did have my Blood Tithe thing activated. And he would have attacked, he piled in and attacked the Terrorgeist and did 3 more damage to it. Then in the hero phase, the Terrorgeist casts his signature spell on himself, so he has a double save now.
Yes.
But and he regained 1 wound from healing. The Flayer moved over. The Terrorgeist moved over. They're threatening the center here. He used his command point from the blister skin to teleport over to here, 9 inches away from the Bloodsecrator. He has to make this charge and get in here to get this chest. Then over here on this side, the Flayers moved to this area over here, and that's where we're at. We're moving into the screams from the Flayers.
Okay.
Targeting the Wrathmongers. They're the lowest bravery ones.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go after those guys. They're 2 separate units. Bravery 8.
Bravery 8. I mean,
go for it.
Looking bravery 7 or bravery 8.
Yeah. Go for the Slaughter Priest.
I'm going to Slaughter Priest.
All right. Ooh.
Typical 6. So
That'll
that's 12 minus 2, so that's a 10.
2 mortal wounds on him, so he's got 4 left. Don't kill Baldy. No, that doesn't do anything there. On the 7 and 10. Nope, nothing. So just 2 mortal wounds, bringing him down to 4 remaining on that Slaughter Priest there. And Scream from the Terrorgeist.
I guess I can. I need to roll a...
You don't want to kill him though, do you?
I need to roll a 6.
He's a 9. He's a bravery 9.
Yeah. So
Nah.
I need to roll a 6, which would put me at a 10, which would do 1 mortal wound. So I might as well
Okay.
soften him up. If I can roll a 6?
No.
All right.
Okay. So that is the shooting. Flesh Eater Courts going into charges.
Yep.
What are we doing here?
This is the game.
For the game, for all the marbles. Not gonna do it on a 4, and are you out of command points?
I am out of command points.
Did you roll to get your Ether Quartz Brooch command point back?
I
killed him. Oh no.
That's the game.
Well, you could double turn.
Yes, and that would put me at...
I have 8. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me go.
Turn 5.
You'd have to let me go. Scarbrand would come over and smack the Terrorgeist in the face.
Yep.
Which I can show you what would happen if Scarbrand.
I think I'm okay with that.
Do you want to finish it out just so we can all see? No? You're going to call it there? All right, good game. Good game. All right, odds are he probably would have killed you. You were already hurt too, so. Yeah.
7 wounds down.
So that's that. I think a good, solid, competitive game here from the Flesh Eater Courts. If they would have made this charge, you would have most likely killed this guy. Got the 3. Well, at least roll. See if you got the double turn. I'm curious. I'm curious. A 3. A 3. You would have got it. No, I went first.
You would have went first.
I went first. So
at which point you give me the double turn, and then I can't score the 3 points.
Right.
And the game is
right.
over.
So there you go.
I do.
You see what he needed to do, and I'm glad we rolled that out. You know, well, you never know. You know, it's just for funsies. But what Nate needed to do was make that charge, kill that guy, which would have gave him 3 points. It would have been 7 to 8. Do the double turn, kill Scarbrand, hold down the objective again, or whatever you need to do to get the points. Just 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tied it up.
It would have been 8 to 8.
So you would have to let me go and get hit by Scarbrand. You're in a bad spot. You're in a bad spot, but you tried, and hats off to you. I think it's always fun to play games out and try as hard as we can to win. So thank you, Nate. I had a really good time testing out some more competitive stuff. I'm sure we missed some things. If you guys see anything, please help us play better. That's what we're here to do. But we always ask for constructive criticism, always. You know, that's a big ask. Talking about a lot of big asks here, and the internet being nice is a real big ask, but I'm gonna ask nonetheless. So that's it. I'm Jared, this is Nate, and thank you for watching LWG.